Now, court here in Paris is to begin deciding in the next half hour whether or not to release the former French President Nicolas Sarkozy from prison. Now, if it happens, it would be less than 3 weeks after he began serving a 5-year sentence for criminal conspiracy in a scheme to finance his 2007 election campaign with funds from Libya. Sarkozy was jailed on October the 21st, pending appeal, but immediately filed for early release. Well, we're going to cross to the court to talk to our reporter Camille Knight, who joins us from there. So, Camille, first of all, just explain then exactly what is due to happen today, can you?
Well, doors to the courtroom here in Paris have just opened. People are starting to trickle in. We saw Sarkozy's wife, supermodel Carla Bruni, walk in just moments ago for a session that could determine whether or not Nicolas Sarkozy could walk out of prison as soon as this evening, just 3 weeks after he was incarcerated. Now, he wouldn't exactly be walking out a free man, though. It's very likely that he would be under quite strict judicial supervision, perhaps having to wear an electronic tag or having to check in with authorities regularly. That, of course, will be determined today, but it's important to explain kind of what exactly is being decided today. Judges are examining Sarkozy's lawyers' request for leaving the prison early because pending his appeal, that should be taking place in March. So it's really only for those few months leading up to his appeals trial that this is what we're talking about today. Now, we are, of course, expecting that decision to come in potentially the next few hours, and then Sarkozy would be leaving the prison potentially even before midnight. Now, what was quite interesting about this case, and what was quite controversial, in fact, was the fact that when the judge did sentence Sarkozy, she did so pretty much effective immediately, whether or not he lodged an appeal, which he in fact did. And that's exactly what his lawyers are going to be arguing was unreasonable.
Yeah, what arguments are the lawyers expected to come up with then?
Well, because what the judge used was a provision called the exécution provisoire, as it's known in France. And usually, in most cases, it's used when the accused is potentially a flight risk or is at risk of reoffending, maybe even kind of there are chances that they may mess with the investigation. Now, lawyers are arguing that none of these really apply to Sarkozy. Now, when the judge did sentence him, she said that it was the seriousness of the case that justified using this provision. Just as a reminder, Sarkozy was convicted of seeking illegal funds from conspiring to get funds from the late Libyan dictator Muammar Gaddafi, so essentially opening up the French presidency to foreign influence. Of course, whether his 5-year sentence that he was handed will be upheld will be determined in March.
Camille, thanks very much. Camille Knight there reporting from the court for us here on France 24. Of course, we'll continue to follow that on the programme during the day.